From Villanova Ballpark in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, the Sports Fan Base Network is proud to present the PAISAA Baseball Championship game between the Malvern Prep Friars and the Haverford Fords. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom Wilms. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. A nice day as it's turned out to be. We had a little bit of rain a couple of seconds ago, but it looks like that's all staying away from us as we've got a great matchup. Again, when you get Malvern Prep and Haverford together in any sport, it is always a good matchup. Malvern Prep, what a year. The number one seed, 25-3 overall, 9-1 in interact play. They finished in first place. How did they get here? It was the quarterfinal, a 4-1 win over number 8 Germantown Academy. In the semifinal, a 3-2 win over Springside at Chestnut Hill, and they were the number 5 seed. Haverford coming in as the number 7 seed, 17-10 overall, 3-7 in interact play. That put them tied for 4th place. In the first round of this tournament, a 5-0 win over number 10 Mercersburg Academy. In the quarterfinal, a 6-3 upset over number 2 Episcopal Academy. And in the semifinal, a 4-3 win over the number 6 seed Penn Charter. They've played twice this year. The first matchup was on April 12th, and that was an 11-2 Friar win. But then a couple of weeks later on the 29th, much closer game, but still a victory for Malvern Prep by a final of 5-2. Taking a look at the starting lineup for Haverford as Malvern Prep has taken the field. Leading off will be the shortstop Connor Scanlon, followed by the left fielder Colby McFeely, and the catcher Mark Quattrani. Batting 4th, designated hitter Ian White. Batting 5th is the center fielder Will Ferris. Batting 6th, the right fielder Jake LaRocca. And batting 7th, Brendan Toohey. He'll play at first base. Batting 8th, Jimmy Davey. He'll play at third. And batting 9th will be second baseman Cole Donnelly. We set up the defense for the Friars. It'll be Tage Davis at first, Tim Dickinson at second, Ryan Cochran at short, John Holt is at third. Ryan Davis is in left field, Jaden Smith in center, Mike McGrory is in right. Matt Ciaris is the catcher. And on the mound, the lefty, Mikey Goodman, as he has a 2-0 record with a 0.53 earned run average. And this will be his first start of the year. This is his 8th appearance. So far, in 13 1/3 innings, he's given up 5 hits, just 1 run. It was earned, 6 walks, 18 strikeouts. So he's got some control to him. As it looks like we are just about ready to get rolling. As we mentioned, there has been rain in the area. Basically, for the next couple hours, about a 30 to 50% chance of a drizzle. That's about it. Hopefully it stays that way, or just stays away. Very fair ballpark, by the way. 330 down the lines. Power alleys of 385 and 405 to center with your standard, I'd say, 8-foot wall all the way around. Umpires for today's game, Joe Cassidy and Jerry Bolligitz will work the bases, and Johnny Gonzalez will call the balls and strikes back behind home plate. It looks like they've got to basically tell everyone to get back behind into the dugout again. Everyone wants to stand up top step and lean over. Again, championship game, everyone's into it. So good job by the umpires to make sure everyone is nice and safe. Again, not exactly a lot of foul ground. If you get a check swing foul ball missiling its way inside of a dugout, could get very dangerous. As it looks like we're just about ready to get going. The lefty Gordon against the right-handed hitter Connor Scanlon. The first pitch is on its way. In there for a strike. And we are underway. Right on the dot at 3 p.m. How often do things actually start on time in this world? 0-1 count here to Connor Scanlon. 1 for 3 with an RBI and a couple of walks in the quarterfinal against Episcopal. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Cut on and missed. Heavy fastball there, and it's 0-2. Game time temperature, 75 degrees. Sun sneaking out from all the clouds. But still looking at a chance of light rain, or a light chance of rain over the next couple of hours. So here comes the 0-2 from Gordon. Breaking ball on, it's a high fly ball out to shallow right center field. McGrory and Smith converge. McGrory calls off, makes the catch, and it's 1 away. A good start there for Gordon. 3 pitches in, not 1 ball, and induces the out. As here comes Colby McFeely. Second team All-Iraq selection, preseason All-American. Colby McNeely playing in left field today. Another right-handed hitter for Mikey Gordon to deal with. Very interesting that they've elected to go with somebody who hasn't started all years. Here's the pitch. And that curls around the plate. It's 1-0. And maybe thinking, again, championship game, everyone's on deck anyway. So start with someone who's going to be kind of an opener maybe. Here comes the 1-0 from Gordon. Cut on and missed. High fastball there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Colby McNeely. Rider commit. So a 2-time second-team All-Iraq. Here's the pitch. Cut on, foul tip at the plate. And it's 1-2. In the semifinal, he was actually the pitcher for that one. Picked up the win, going 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. Also went 1 for 4 with a couple of RBI. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Hard grounder towards short. Swallowed up there by Cochran. Throw to first is in time. And it's 2 away. So 2 outs and nobody on. Here comes Mark Quattrani.
Number 5, catcher Mark Quattrani.
Quattrani also named second-team All-Iraq, but has not chosen his college just yet. He's certainly going to get looked at. Preseason All-American, top 500 national ranking. Pretty much the 95th percentile in a lot of categories. Hitting from the right side against Gordon. And the first pitch on its way. Just missed outside with a fastball. And Mikey Gordon actually kind of, with his pitching hands, kind of said, where is that? Well, not the tone you want to set with the umpire, I don't think. So here comes the 1-0. Cut on and missed. It may have been dropped by the catcher or even fouled off. Either way, it's 1-1. Mikey Gordon, he will actually hit in today's game. The DH for Malvern Prep will actually be in relief of the right fielder. So very unique, but you want Gordon's bat in the lineup. So here comes the 1-1. On the inside corner as he puts some break onto it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Quattrani. Junior catcher. Named to the 2021 Fall Midwest Workout Showcase Top Prospect list. Walk-off 2-run homer against Germantown Academy earlier this year. So here comes the 1-2. Swung on, it's a high fly ball, right center field, going back a bit McGrory, but he has a beat on it. Makes the 2-hand catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. After a half inning, it's Haverford nothing. Malvern Prep coming to bat as you're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship. head down to the bottom of the first inning after Haverford went down 1-2-3. They've taken the field, and here's the starting lineup for the Malvern Prep Friars. That's getting ready to lead off is the center fielder, Jaden Smith, followed by the shortstop, Ryan Cochran, and the DH, Trey Tiffin. Middle third of the order, Tim Dickinson, Tate Davis, and Ryan Davis. And the bottom third of Matt Ciaris, John Holt, and Mikey Gordon. Setting up the defense for Haverford, Brendan Toohey at first, Cole Donnelly at second, Connor Scanlon at short, Jimmy Davey is at third. Colby McNeely is in left, Will Ferris in center, Jake LaRocca in right, Mark Kachwani about to receive the first pitch from Jack Campbell. And that just missed outside to Jaden Smith. Smith hitting .487 with a homer, 21 RBI. Leads the team in hits, doubles, on-base percentage. As here's the pitch, and that is on the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Also leads in stolen bases as well. Last year was a .462 hitter, so improvement this year. So here comes the 1-1. Bounce foul on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smith playing in his senior season. Catalyst at the top of the order, again with that very good on-base percentage of .612. But here comes the 1-2 from Campbell. Roller down the line. That's a fair ball and heads towards the right field corner. Rounding first, heading to second is Smith, picked up by LaRocca, but he'll go in standing with a leadoff double. So quick start offensively for Malvern Prep. As Smith now has his team-leading 13th double of the season. So here comes Ryan Cochran with the man out at second and nobody out. Cochran hitting .288, no homers, 16 RBI. Talking about on-base percentage, his at .434, which is still quite good, but not to the lofty heights of Jaden Smith. He's taking a short lead off of second. Looks like Cole Donnelly, the second baseman, is going to clap behind him. To the stretch goes Campbell. And the first pitch squares the bunt, gets it down. Charging in here, Campbell picks up with a bare hand, throw to first, and it's off the glove of Toohey. Backed up nicely by Donnelly, and everybody's safe. So Cochran on at first, thanks to the throwing error. So it'll be runners on the corners with nobody out. And it'll be Trey Tiffin trying to get the offense going. .429 hitter, 4 homers, and 33 RBI. So just about 3 pitches in, and already the Fords are in some trouble. First pitch on its way. Sails outside for a ball, and it goes to 1-0.
Number 23, the designated hitter, Trey Tiffin.
Leads the team in RBIs, second in home runs. He's heading to Elon. He'll play in the CAA. Campbell's 1-0. Swung on, pop foul back behind home plate. Quattrani gives it a look, but well out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Preseason underclass All-American. Again, already committed as a junior. Last year was a .340 hitter, so massive improvement this year. Step throw over to first, diving back Cochran. Wouldn't be shocked to see Cochran take off. Try to draw the throw, and Smith come in to score that way. Cochran on the year, 4 steals on 5 attempts. Infield back accepted first, so they'll concede a run for the double play ball. So here comes the 1-1. Swung on, popped up, and again out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tiffin. As we mentioned, Tiffin, junior season. He'll play for Elon. A number of commits on the field on both sides of the ledger. Thrown over to first. Not much of a lead from Cochran there. He'll take about a 3, maybe 4-step lead, being held on by Toohey. As Campbell sets the shoulders and fires the first once again. Looks like it is kind of breezy with the trees moving around a little bit, but no flag in sight to tell you which direction it's going. Looks like it may be blowing in, according to hand signals we're getting. The 1-2. Breaking ball just missed inside. Oh, they called the strike 3. Delayed strike call from Johnny Gonzalez, and he struck him out. I thought that was pretty tight to the plate. Might have been high part of the strike zone, but certainly looked like it dipped in.
Number 26, second baseman Tim Dickinson.
A big strikeout there, so there's a light at the end of this tunnel here for Jack Campbell. With one out and runners on the corners, here's Tim Dickinson hitting from the left side. 309 hitter, no homers, 15 RBI. First pitch. And that one misses. It's 1-0. Preseason underclass All-American. Throwing over to first. They're still keeping Cochran somewhat close. I want to keep the ground ball double play a realistic possibility. That's a big cut and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dickinson. Again, early stress here for Jack Campbell. Third baseman Davey a little bit closer in. Up the middle, still looking for that double play. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and missed. And it's 1-2. Inside part of the plate and tried to yank it down the line. Cochran kind of faked over towards second. That might have caught the eye of Dickinson. Cochran on at first, Smith on at third. We play in the bottom of the first inning, still scoreless. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball, hard grounder, foul on the right side. And we do it again at 1-2. I'm a little surprised again. Not that Cochran's a big-time base stealer, but you draw the throw and try to get Smith to come in to score, who's got some very good speed. But now at this point with a 1-2 count, you don't want to risk the strike him out, throw him out. Again, runners on the corners, 1 away. Throwing over to first, and again that chases back Cochran. Cloudy but comfortable. Mid-70s. Stare on over towards first by Campbell. Now he sets, and the 1-2. High and outside, trying to get him to chase. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dickinson named one of the top shortstops in the class of 2023. Picked up an RBI and a walk against Episcopal Academy. The 2-2. Outside for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So you wonder if Cochran takes off. Middle infielders talking it over to see who covers. Playing him to pull, but not even close to a shift. So here comes the payoff. Runner at first does take off, and it's a fly ball out to right field. Charging in LaRocca. Still on the run. Makes the catch. Tagging up at third, but going nowhere is Jaden Smith. And it's 2 away. And Smith drawing the throw. Charging into the plate about 3 steps in, but knowing it was, again, relatively shallow, LaRocca did a great job of getting into a throwing position. And with this artificial surface, you could skip it up there. So, again, runners on the corners, and here's Tate Davis. 238 hitter, but he's also got 7 homers and 22 RBI. 7 homers and just 15 hits on the year. So he hits bombs. Second in RBI as well. As a sophomore, already committed to an ACC school. That's Louisville. So here comes the first pitch. That misses outside for a ball. And it goes to 1-0. That's a fastball outside for a ball as well. 2 balls and no strikes. And there's that open base at second, but it's kind of picking your poison. You want to go after Tage Davis or Ryan Davis? The lanky first baseman steps up from the left side, and the 2-1. Swung on it, the high fly ball deep to right field, going back LaRocca, but he has room, and he makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. After 1, we remain scoreless as you're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship on the Sports Fanbase Network. Well, we'll head down to the top of the second inning. Malvern Prep threatened. They had first and third with nobody out, but could not convert. So we stay scoreless, heading to the top of the second inning. Middle third of the order for the Haverford Fords. It'll be Ian White, followed by Will Ferris and Jake LaRocca. As White steps up against Mikey Gordon in his second inning of work. Again, really didn't have much issue with Scanlon, McNeely, and Quattrani. First pitch on its way to Ian White. And that's at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. White, a preseason All-American. Picked up the win on the mound in the quarterfinal against Episcopal Academy, going 5 2/3. And on the hill, he brings in the high 80s. And again, just a sophomore. And I'm not sure what the problem is. It's the umpires looking in the direction of Malvern Prep's dugout. And it looks like we may again have a photographer on the field. Again, concern for safeties. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Misses high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to White. White DHing today. From the third base side of the rubber, the long look in here from Gordon. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That's just below the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike to White. Now Gordon resettling. I think some of the Malvern Prep faithful thinking that was a strike as the catcher sets up outside. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on, fly ball to right field. Couple steps in from McGrory, now a couple steps back. He makes the catch, and it's 1 away. So of the 4 outs recorded by Gordon, 3 have been fly balls out to right field. And here comes Will Ferris. Umbrellas popping up, so getting a little bit of a drizzle out there. And we'll play through just about everything, again, with this artificial surface. It drains incredibly well. And as long as there's no lightning, we'll keep on going. First pitch on its way to Ferris. This is outside for a ball, goes to 1-0. Got to be careful with Ferris. Again, he is one of the fastest players in the area in the 2022 class. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, pop foul, first base side. Davis gives it a long look. Heck, even Mikey Gordon made the long trek across. But it ends up out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ferris heading to Dickinson College in the fall. Back in the quarterfinal against Episcopal Academy, 1 for 3 with a couple of runs scored and a walk. And looking at some of his numbers, he, again, lightning fast. As that is on the outside corner for a strike 1 and 2. A 6.56 on his 60-yard dash. Again, that is quick. Well, they have him middle of the order, as he's got a little bit of pop to the bat as well. So here comes the 1-2. Swung on, fouled straight back. And again, we do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was just to our right. And yeah, the rain is relatively, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's steady. Something we certainly weren't expecting. But again, they'll play through it. Gordon agrees on the sign. Rocks back and fires the 1-2. Jaws below the knees. And this is the second time we've seen this. Mikey Gordon certainly does not hide his emotions. Earlier, it was the palm up. This one was going down to squatting on his knees, hoping he would get the call. The catcher sneaks a bit outside. And here comes the 2-2. Check swing, went too far, and he struck him out. First strikeout for Gordon. It's 2 away. And challenge fastball there from Mikey Gordon. And Ferris just couldn't hold up. So 2 outs. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Jake LaRocca. LaRocca, another preseason underclass All-American. Hitting from the right side. And the first pitch to him. Fouled straight back off the end of the bat. It's 0-1. 2 for 4 in the semifinals against Penn Charter. A couple of RBI as well. He's a force on the hill as well. Mid-80s fastball. Again, in his senior year, the 0-1. This is inside. Again, that's a situation where Ciaris was set up outside. The pitch was on the inside. And again, even if it did hit the plate, that sometimes fools the umpire. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And again, with Gordon being demonstrative in his disappointment, it shouldn't influence the umpire, but sometimes it does. As I think the battery wants to get together and talk it over. Maybe a little bit of a cross-up or a change in plans. As not only is the rain coming down a little bit harder, it's starting to cool down a bit out there. And originally, we had the camera outside looking through the netting. We kind of made the decision to bring it inside. A, to avoid the netting, and now B, even more wise for our cameraman, keep them dry. As now rain really is starting to come down now. So we'll see if we'll delay or keep going. So here comes the 2-1. On the inside corner for a strike. It's 2-2. And just like in the majors, right now, the game is in the umpire's hands. Again, the good news for keeping the game going is, again, this is a sport turf field that drains very well. So here comes the 2-2 to LaRocca. Breaking ball, reached out and poked it down the line. This could be trouble, but it will drop foul just out of the reach of McGrory. And now the rain is really coming down. Not sure if the camera's really doing it justice. It's a pretty steady and heavy rain. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away as we play in the top of the second inning. Scoreless game. As Gordon agrees on the sign. Takes a deep breath. Winds and fires the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and he struck him out. 2 straight strikeouts for Gordon. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left after 1.5. We remain scoreless as you're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship game on the Sports Fanbase Network. We'll head down to the bottom of the second inning, and we will continue through the raindrops. Malvern Prep, Haverford scoreless, although the Friars did threaten the last inning. They'll have 6, 7, 8 due up here. It'll be Ryan Davis, followed by Matt Ciaris and John Holt. Ryan Davis, a .291 hitter, no homers and 9 RBI. On-base percentage of .435. Again, with the leadoff man, that's what you look at. And I'm not always the biggest fan of all the extra stats being thrown out, but on-base percentage being added to the fray is certainly a good thing. First pitch to Davis. In there for a strike, 0-1. It's Jack Campbell. Again, last inning, gave up a double and allowed a runner to advance, or rather reach on an error, but settle down from there. Here's the 0-1. Inside, as Davis jackknifes out of the way, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan Davis in his senior year, commit to Lehigh. He'll be a Mountain Hawk in the fall. Full windup here from Campbell, the 1-1. Slips outside for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Second most at-bats of all the returning players from last year. Ryan Davis, again from the left side, the 2-1. That was high and outside. That definitely slipped out of the hands of Campbell again. As that pitch was coming in, you were able to see some of the histrionics. Basically telling the whole stadium, yep, it slipped out of my hands. That is the one battle when it comes to the weather. Here comes the 3-1. That's inside, gets away, and that is ball 4. That was certainly a slip at the feet of Ryan Davis. First walk given up by Campbell. And they are going to stop play as we will go into a rain delay. Not sure if they have anything top-wise for the plate area or the mound. But as of right now, everyone's been pulled off the field, and that's a good move by the crew. Simply because the last 2 pitches thrown by Davis, he didn't know where they were going. So again, safety first is going to be the process here with our officials. So we will take a break, and we'll keep you apprised as to the continuation of this game. Again, a half hour in, and we are in the bottom of the second inning with a runner on at first, nobody out. But again, scoreless, and we have stopped due to a rain delay. Again, we'll take a break and come back and let you know how it's going. You're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship game on the Sports Fanbase Network.
Ready to resume.
Well, looks like we're back, ready to get things started after about a pretty short delay. So we are in the bottom of the second inning. We are scoreless. Runner on at first is Ryan Davis, who reached via the walk, and it was after that walk that Johnny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, decided to stop play again. One pitch that had slipped out of his hand way outside. The other one slipped out of his hand and thrown right behind Davis, and I think that's when he realized, you know what, this is a little dangerous. Let's take a break. Again, they looked at the radar. Doesn't look as much else in the area. Let's hopefully it stays that way. As again, now it'll be Matt Ciaris to step up as Malvern Prep threatens once again. Runner on at first, nobody out, bottom of the second inning. Tom Wilms here. Thanks so much for joining us on the Sports Fan Base Network. Jack Campbell from the stretch, center of the rubber. Ready to fire. The pitch is swung on. Slow bouncer towards short. Scanlon charges, boots it, and everyone will be safe. I think he was trying to rush it to get it on over to first. As that will be charged an error. Already the second error of the game charged to Haverford. So first and second with nobody out. And here's Jonathan Holt.
Now batting for Malvern.
By the way, delay of 16 minutes. And they will have a courtesy runner over at first base. That'll be Grant Kennedy.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 45, Grant Kennedy.
I forgot all about I haven't done a high school game in a long time. Wasn't prepared for the courtesy runner. First pitch due into Holt. Squares the bunt, popped up, back behind home plate, and caught by Quattrani. It's one away. So Holt trying to lay it down. Just got it off the top of the bat. It'll be first and second, one away in the bottom of the order. Here's the pitcher, Mikey Gordon.
Number 35, the pitcher, Mike Gordon.
Gordon, a 256 hitter, no homers, 5 RBI. 10 for 39 on the year. 8 walks, 8 strikeouts. Playing him to pull, so there's a bit of a hole on the shortstop side if you can slap it the other way. Campbell, a couple of looks back to second. First pitch. A little high for a ball, and it's 1-0. So we mentioned it last inning. It certainly serves notice here. Jack Campbell dealing with stress. The leadoff double in the first and the leadoff walk here in the second. Here comes the 1-0. Popped up. Going back on it is Donnelly, the second baseman. Infield fly rule is in effect. He makes the catch. It's 2 away. So we'll go to the top of the order here for Malvern Prep, and here's Jaden Smith.
Number 12, center fielder.
Last thing Malvern Prep needs here is for the second straight inning to get the first 2 men on and not convert. So now the battery will get together and discuss signs here on how to deal with Jaden Smith, who hit a double down into right field in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. Smith coming in a .487 hitter with a homer and 21 RBI. Last time out against Haverford, he got on base 5 times. So he is dangerous. And they see that number 12 come up to the plate. Now Jack Campbell knew what he's getting into. First pitch on its way. Breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Kind of felt like Smith was geared up for a fastball. The second that left the hand of Campbell, he knew he had no chance as the body weight was already moving forward. Double take back to second, the 0-1. Breaking ball, and that one just missed. 1 ball and 1 strike to Smith. Smith pretty much stands right on top of the plate with a closed stance. Well, lead foot a couple inches closer to the plate than the back. Basically, the strike zone disappears. A challenge on the inside wouldn't be such a bad thing for Campbell. The 1-1. A little high for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Ryan Davis on at second. And the courtesy runner, Grant Kennedy, is on at first. The 2-1. Outside for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. Smith trying to continue the inning for Ryan Cochran, heading to the middle of the order. And still playing him the pull, as Scanlon, the shortstop, is going to back into the slot. As that is in there for a strike on the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So that means the runners will be off. And everyone will back off. Corner infielders are tight to the line. And the middle infielders, heels on the grass. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. The tag applied, and he struck him out. Oh, they're going to say foul ball. So the inning will continue. And we're in a situation in the press box with windows that do not open, so we don't have audio. So could not hear if that was deflected by the bat. But home plate umpire Johnny Gonzalez. Johnny on the spot. So a long stare in here from Campbell. The runners take off. The pitch. Swan, one hopper up the middle. Diving, stopped there by Donnelly. Keeps it in the infield. He'll throw to the plate, and it is not in time as it gets away. Is coming in to score is Davis. Everyone else will move up. It'll be second and third. And Malvern Prep take a 1-0 lead. A tough break there as Donnelly had a chance to get Davis, who had his head down going to third and coming in to score. So again, a 1-0 lead for Malvern Prep. It'll be second and third. And everyone will talk it over, and here comes the coach for Haverford, seemingly to try to settle everything down here. A little surprised on that play, to be honest with you, about being unable to get Ryan Davis to come in to score there. And to see how they scored that. I think they put up a hit and no error. So Smith will get credit for a single and an RBI. And move to second on the throw. So now with 2 outs, and again, runners on at second and third, here comes Ryan Cochran. First pitch to Cochran on its way. In there for a strike. And it's 0-1. Cochran 0 for 1. He reached on an error in the first.
Shortstop Ryan Cochran.
288 hitter, no homers, and 16 RBI. And a 1-0 lead for Malvern Prep. Swan, that's lifted into shallow center field. Coming over is Ferris. Has a beat on it. Makes the 2-hand catch. And that will retire the side. But 1 run comes in on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. After 2, it's Malvern Prep 1, Haverford nothing. As you're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship game. We'll head down to the top of the third inning and the bottom third of the Haverford order. It'll be Brendan Toohey, followed by Jimmy Davey and Cole Donnelly, 7, 8, and 9. As the Fords trail Malvern Prep by a score of 1-0. An RBI infield hit by Jaden Smith is the difference. So here comes Toohey. Toohey in the quarterfinal, 1 for 2 with a couple of RBI and a walk in his junior season. Against Mikey Gordon, who has been perfect through 6 batters. And the first pitch is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes for the first baseman, Toohey. And the rain has completely stopped. Looks like the sun's trying to come out. Again, we only had it was about a 16-minute delay. And a 1-0 lead for Malvern Prep. The 1-0 is just below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes here to Toohey. In the 2 meetings this year, it's definitely a story of 2 completely different games. 11-2 and 5-2, both wins from Malvern Prep. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. High for the ball, now 3-0. But Haverford on their way to this game as the number 7 seed. Couple of upsets over number 2 Episcopal Academy and number 6 Penn Charter. The 3-0 on its way to Toohey. Taking the whole way, it's in for a strike, and it's 3-1. And down 1-0. Really unable to get anything going against Gordon, so yeah, that's a great take. But now 3-1, you look for your spot. Deep breath. He rocks back and fires the 3-1 pitch. Swung on hard grounder up the middle, flashing across and scooping up his Cochran. Settles, throws the first in time, and a nice stretch by Tate Davis. And it's 1 away. So 7 straight retired by Gordon. Yeah, and certainly got to credit Cochran and Davis on that play. As here comes Jimmy Davey. Davey, in his senior season, mostly a middle infielder, but today playing at the hot corner. As Gordon gets ready for his first pitch here against Davey. That drifts inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strike here to Davey. Catcher set up right up the middle, looking for a low target. The 1-0. Cut on and missed. That was actually a high fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, sometimes as a pitcher, if you miss the mark, that as long as you get the result. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on high, pop up, back behind home plate. Ciaris gives it a look, but well out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now again, fully artificial surface, except around the outfield track. Actually, I think the outfield is grass as well. Yeah, it is. As here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Blocked by Ciaris. Throw to first is in time to complete the strikeout. And it's 2 away. 3rd strikeout for Mikey Gordon. So with 2 outs, nobody on, and 8 straight retired by Gordon. Here comes Cole Donnelly. All right, what I was about to say about the artificial surface is, again, digging in as a hitter and as a pitcher. Certainly something that these guys are not quite used to. Used to having the dirt to kick around. First pitch on its way to Donnelly. In the dirt, blocked, and it's 1-0. Donnelly, a Lehigh commit. Preseason underclass All-American. Trying to get something going here for the Fords. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on that, is belted down the line, but that will hook and go foul. As it 3-hops the wall. 1 ball and 1 strike to Donnelly. I know that most facilities like this, when you have the artificial surface, you're not allowed to wear the spikes. But again, if you're wearing them all year long, there's got to be a change. So you just kind of wonder how these pitchers are dealing with that. And having to wear sneakers maybe for the first time, not really able to dig into the dirt. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. It took a little off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And very nicely manicured facility here. Again, so much so that it took me a second to realize that the outfield grass is actually grass and not artificial. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and he struck him out. 2 straight strikeouts for Gordon. That's 4 in the game, as he has retired 9 in a row to start things off. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And after 2.5, it's Malvern Prep 1, Haverford nothing. As you're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship game on the Sports Fan Base Network. We'll head down to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up from Malvern Prep. They lead 1-0. It'll be Trey Tiffin, followed by Tim Dickinson and Tate Davis. Jack Campbell is on the hill, peering over his glove, trying to get a clean inning. Again, he gave up a run last inning as here comes the pitch. High for the ball. One ball, no strikes here to Tiffin, who struck out looking in the first. Here comes the 1-0, way outside. 2 balls and no strikes. By the way, the run that Campbell led up in the 2nd inning, unearned. Here comes the 2-0 to Tiffin. That breaks outside and low. 3 balls and no strikes. Tiffin, a .429 hitter coming in. 4 homers, 33 RBI. An Elon commit. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. High for the ball, ball 4. So for the second straight inning, Jack Campbell gives up the leadoff walk. And again, seemingly at least 2 out of 3 times the leadoff man comes in to score. That's kind of a major league number. I think it's actually more so in college and high school. So with Tiffin on at first, here's Tim Dickinson. Dickinson flew out to right in the 1st inning. He hits from the left side. First pitch to him, that is high and outside for the ball. And Campbell getting a little frustrated. As again, he's let a couple of pitches kind of slip out of his hand. Not like last inning where the final pitch for the walk against Ryan Davis actually did slip out of his hand. That caused the rain delays. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and fisted foul back behind home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. And playing at the bottom of the 3rd, and as you may be well aware, this is scheduled for 7. Tiffin takes his lead off of first, then has to dive his way back. Not taking a very big lead, but actually extends it here to about 5 steps. Tiffin, 4 steals on 5 attempts on the year. So here comes the 1-1. Swung on, foul back as it sails over the crowd. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A good crowd has come out. They are back in their seats, by the way. As, again, a number of them they were prepared for the umbrellas. course, this is home to Villanova University's baseball team. As here comes the 1-2. This is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But not all that close to campus. Again, depending on traffic, probably about a half an hour away. Anywhere from a half hour to 3 hours in traditional Philadelphia traffic. So here comes the 2-2. Swung on, bouncer over towards third. Picked up by Davey, throw to second for 1. On to first, and it's not in time. As Dickinson able to power his way down the line. So he'll reach on the fielder's choice.
First baseman number 13, Tig.
And with 1 out, here comes Tig Davis. Davis 0 for 1. He flew out to right in the first. Davis, as a sophomore, a power hitter, 7 homers, 15 hits on the year, but again, 7 of them have gone deep. So here comes the pitch. High and outside for a ball, goes to 1-0. Always intriguing seeing the pitchers, catchers, middle infielders with the signals on their wrist. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hard grounder, and that's in the right field for a base hit. Dickinson goes first to second. So 1 out single for Tig Davis, who didn't seem to do too much with that. Again, a power hitter, you think they always overswing. Nope, he was smart, just kind of served that into right field. Third hit of the game for the Friars. So it'll be first and second with 1 away, and here's Ryan Davis. Davis walked and scored his first time up. That was in the second inning, right? Well, the walk was before the delay. Of course, him coming in to score was right after. Campbell from the stretch, the first pitch. In there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Davis, a .291 hitter, no homers, 9 RBI, after hitting .303 last year, so about the same. So here comes the 0-1. Slow roller towards second. Donnelly scoops up. His only play will be at first. As Dickinson goes to third, Tig Davis on to second. So productive out for Ryan Davis, but it comes at a cost. It's 2 away.
The catcher, number 17, Matt Sierras.
So here comes Matt Sierras. We had the chance to drive in 1, maybe 2. He's 0 for 1, reached on an error in the second inning. A .265 hitter, no homers, 7 RBI. So Campbell a chance to get out of this jam. The first pitch, outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes at Sierras. Last year was a .267 hitter, so consistent from his sophomore to junior year. Here comes the 1-0. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. And Tim Dickinson actually took off for the plate again on an obvious attempt to try to get him to balk. But I think he mistimed it because at the time, Campbell was staring back to second and looking at Tig Davis. Then he kind of looked over and paid him very little mind. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball, that pours in for a strike, and it's 1-2. Playing here in the bottom of the third inning. From Villanova Ballpark here in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. Turning into a really nice afternoon. And certainly can't tell that that it rained at all, except for a couple of droplets on the windows. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on off the end of the bat. That was a protect swing. And that fastball was labeled for the outside corner. So it stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And these two teams, or rather 2 schools, met in the Interact Lacrosse Championship each of the last 3 years. So big-time rivalry between these 2 schools. As timeout is called and accepted. Again, those Interact Lacrosse Championship games all have been on the Sports Fan Base Network, and they've been classics. Hoping to get another one right here, except in baseballs. Here's the 1-2. Bouncer foul, third base side. A nice play by the third base coach. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once again here to the Friars, Matt Sierras. Trying to continue the inning for John Holt. Again, Campbell from the stretch. And the 1-2. Swung on, pop foul. He definitely just swung at ball 2. And that looked like it was another curveball that seemingly slipped out of the hands of Campbell. But it was high and inside. Again, that kind of pitch, that high curveball that kind of hangs there. It looks like it's just sitting there on a tee. But again, it was just a little bit too far inside to do anything with. So yet another 1-2 pitch due in from Campbell. Breaking ball misses outside, 2-2. So that's a good job by Campbell. Again, looking inside, then going outside, trying to extend that strike zone on both the hitter and the umpire. Not such a bad thing to try to fool the umpire. Got to get those strike calls when you can get them. Second and third with 2 away here in the bottom of the third, and a 2-2 count to Matt Sierras. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, that is belted foul. Well foul with some serious distance. Good battle brewing here between Campbell and Sierras. So now the battery will get together while the home plate umpire requests a couple of new baseballs. That's one thing that is refreshing to see compared to the pro game and now the college game is they're not counting how many visits there are. I wouldn't say refreshing, maybe just different. Old school, if you will. Tickets in on third. Take Davis is on at second. Matt Sierras at the plate. Here comes the 2-2. On the inside corner, and he struck him out. Second strikeout for Campbell, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. After 3, it's Malvern Prep 1, Haverford nothing, as you're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship here on the Sports Fan Base Network. We go now to the top of the fourth inning, top of the Haverford order as Mikey Gordon starts his fourth inning of work, but there is action, or at least there was, in the Malvern Prep bullpen. It'll be Connor Scanlon, followed by Colby McNeely and Mark Quattrani. First pitch to Scanlon. Swung on, fouled straight back, and it's 0-1. Scanlon 0 for 1. He flew out to right in the first inning. Mikey Gordon, perfect through 3 with 4 strikeouts. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike in this 1-0 game. Malvern Prep 25-3 coming into today's action. Most recently coming off a semifinal win over Springside Chestnut Hill by a final of 3-2. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, and that's in for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Scanlon. That was a good one to hit, but Scanlon was looking for something else. Gordon steps back and fires the 1-2. Outside and low, blocked by Ciaras. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And not often do you look at the bullpen of a team that's, of a pitcher that's throwing a perfect game, but according to the stats for Mikey Gordon, this is his first start of the year. He may not be able to go longer. So here's the 2-2. That slips out of his hand. 3 balls and 2 strikes. But again, at this point of the season, championship game, it's only a 1-0 lead, so the coaching staff from Malvern Prep has to kind of weigh that. Yeah, do you want them to go for the perfect game, no hitter, what have you? Sure, but you also want to make sure you win this thing. And it's, again, only 1-0. Here comes the payoff pitch from Gordon. Swung on high, pop-up, first base side, foul territory. Tage Davis with a long run, but it'll end up inside of the dugout, and we'll stay at 3-2. Yeah, Tage Davis actually ended up inside the dugout. I'll have to grab a Gatorade while you're in there. That was a long run, too. Again, I'll be fair to you that this ballpark, in spite of it being new, actually has a good amount of foul territory. And it goes all the way down the lines, as you can see. That certainly helps out a pitcher. So here comes another payoff pitch to Scanlon. That's fouled off to the right. That's good work here from Haverford. Again, they've got to know that they're facing somebody who does not start or extend a lot of games. See more pitches, tire them out. So again, we're here in the top of the 4th inning. Another payoff pitch due in. Swung on, fouled back. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. And 6 left on for Malvern Prep. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, and nobody left for the Fords of the Haverford School. So again, we play in the top of the 4th inning. The 2022 PAISAA Championship. Another payoff pitch due in from Gordon. High for a ball 4. So there's his first blemish. That's good work from Connor Scanlon, fighting off a couple of real tough pitches. So with a runner on at first, and we'll have a visit to the mound, and who knows, this might be all.
Left fielder number 7.
Or at very least,
McNeely.
a chance to talk things over. Again, for the first time, there's a runner on here against Malvern Prep. A very slow walk to the hill. Freddie Hilliard is the head coach for the Friars. Ken Elkind is the assistant. And maybe a little bit of a pep talk. And again, action once again in the bullpen for Malvern Prep. Charlie Offshell, the Virginia commit, is in the bullpen. So it might be a bit of a shorter leash here on Gordon. Again, considering he has not really pitched that long in a single game. And now he's from the stretch for the first time against Colby McNeely. First pitch on its way. Cut on and missed, and it's 0-1. McNeely is 0 for 1, grounded out to short in the first inning. That was a good challenge. Fastball inside part of the plate, trying to get him to obviously swing and miss or ground 1 to the left side of the infield. Here comes the 0-1. Bit of a slide step, not a swung on. It's a high pop-up, foul territory, third base side. Going back is Holt. Reaches up and makes the catch. Tagging up at first is Scanlon, but he stays put. And it's one away. Yeah, not an easy play from Holt going back on it. Usually they talk about the shortstop having the better angle, but Cochran was kind of shaded up the middle, so that was an incredibly long run. And you had Davis deep in left field. So 1 out, 1 on, and here comes Mark Quattrani. Quattrani is 0 for 1. He flew out to right in the first. Big lead by Scanlon. And the pitch on its way. High and inside as he limbos out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Quattrani. And Scanlon takes the lead. The 1-0 in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Quattrani, second team all in Iraq. 1 for 1. Couple of walks, stolen base in the semifinals. As the Forwards try to get something going here in the top of the 4th inning, trailing 1-0. The 1-1. Inside low, blocked by the catcher. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, I like what Gordon is doing here. And he did it against McNeely as well. Changing up his pace. Again, he's from the stretch. And there have been a couple of slide steps. It's pretty advanced for the high school levels. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. That ends up low for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. That didn't miss the knees by all that much. Three-one count, and again, Connor Scanlon hasn't really had the chance to take off, but he's taking a very aggressive lead, basically splitting the cutout. The 3-1 pitch. High for a ball, ball 4, and Gordon again frustrated. So 2 walks in the inning for Gordon, and it looks like that'll be all for him. As here comes the walk to the mound, and a change on the hill for Malvern Prep. We'll take a break and bring you the new pitcher in just a moment. Playing in the top of the 4th inning as Haverford threatens. You're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship game on the Sports Fan Base Network. New pitcher on the mound for Malvern Prep. It'll be Charlie O'Shell, the future Wahoo. And he's got a bit of a dilemma to deal with, first and second, with one away here in the top of the fourth inning. And he'll face off against Ian White. White's 0 for 1, flew out to right in the second inning. Again, first and second, infield is back. The righty O'Shell fires, and that is in there for a strike. It's 0-1. This is his 12th appearance and his fourth in relief. He's 6-2 with one save and a 1.63 earned run average. He agrees on the sign. Scanlon on at second. Quattrani is on at first. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball just below the knees, and it's 1-1. And just by the eye test, I'm thinking he's bringing it low 90s. Certainly a different pace to it than Mikey Gordon. No disrespect to him. He pitched very well through three and a third. But just a different look from O'Shell. And a Division I commit, not only to a big-time school in the ACC, again, a team that is regularly competing for College World Series championships. Down in beautiful Charlottesville, Virginia. Here comes the 1-1. Outside low, gets away as the runners take off. There'll be no throw, wild pitch as Scanlon goes to third, Quattrani to second. So that eliminates the double play possibility. And again, that had so much pace to it that Ciaris couldn't get the body across, couldn't get the glove across. So 2-ball, 1-strike count. And looks like he will step out. And big spot here. Top of the fourth inning, only a one-run game. Full windup now as here comes the 2-1. Swung on and missed. And that was blocked by Ciaris, and it's 2-2. The infield is in. And we mentioned earlier that, again, there's enough foul ground. If that gets away, certainly would have been a great chance for Scanlon to come in to score. O'Shell coming in, 43 innings pitched. 26 hits, 18 runs, 10 of them earned, 11 walks, and 50 strikeouts. But he does have some wildness to him as he has plunked 9. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Outside and low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Will Ferris looms on deck for the Fords. Again, infielders all in, towing the grass. With Scanlon on at third, Quattrani on at second. The payoff pitch from O'Shell. Outside and low, ball 4. 3 walks in the inning. The first one by O'Shell loads the bases with 1 away, and here is Will Ferris.
Center fielder number 1, Will Ferris.
Ferris is 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the second inning. And again, just about 10 minutes ago, we were talking about perfect game after 3 innings. Still no hits on the board for the Fords. Would be a very timely one here. Right now, the corners are in. The middle infielders are even with the base paths. Here's the first pitch. On the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. So they're not counting completely on the double play here. And thinking that if something's hit softly, they want to come to the plate knowing that runs are at a premium. The run at third takes off. The pitch is low. The tag is not in time. He steals home. Connor Scanlon. Talk about guts. Connor Scanlon took off from third. The pitch was low, blocked by Ciaris, picked it up and just couldn't lay the tag down. So we are tied up at 1. Wow, a straight steal of home. So no balls and 2 strikes. Actually, yeah, it looked like he did try to lay down that bunt there, but he missed it, and that might have been enough to slow down Ciaris in grabbing that. So an 0-2 count, runners at first and second, tied up at 1. So that certainly wasn't a straight steal. That was a suicide squeeze that worked, but not with the squeeze part. This is Swan, lifted into center field. Flashing over here, Smith makes the running catch. It's 2 away. So it stays first and second here for Jake LaRocca. LaRocca is 0 for 1, so he struck out swinging in the second. I'll tell you, I was absolutely surprised he took off for the plate like that. With the bases loaded and 1 away. Again, understanding that runs are probably going to be hard to come by. First pitch on its way. Cut on and missed. And it's 0-1. But usually bases loaded less than 2 outs, you still think big inning. But now a chance for the Fords to take the lead. First and second, 2 away. The 0-1 from O'Shell. Inside, check swing. And it's called a ball. They're not going to ask for the appeal as Matt Ciaras needs to tie his shoe. Good chance here for O'Shell to settle down. By the way, Mikey Gordon still responsible for the man on at second. So in spite of not giving up a hit, he still may end up on the losing side of this thing. But again, long way to go, playing in just the top of the 4th. The look back to second. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. And it's 1-2. Okay, we mentioned earlier that, again, we are in the press box back behind home plate. Windows in front of us do not open, so we don't get the ambient sound that we would like. But we heard the pop of the mitt there. Give you an idea of how much O'Shell's bringing it. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. A little high for the ball. And it's 2-2. Now, if you're O'Shell, you want to attack here. Don't want to go to full and let those runners take off. And infield back for the Friars. Dickinson, the second baseman, flashes behind second. The 2-2. Swung on, grounded over towards second. Dickinson dives. He can't get it. It'll go into center field for a base hit. Quattrani rounds third. He comes to the plate. He slides. He's safe. RBI single for Jake LaRocca. And Haverford takes a 2-1 lead. And Dickinson, the second baseman, was going back behind second. And then as the pitch came in, he was heading back to his position, but then it was hit right up the middle, so he had to try to come back across and make a dive, but he was well shy. Smith charged it well, but it was just a bit late. So Quattrani scores, White to second, and LaRocca on at first, and then we'll also have a courtesy runner for Ian White.
First baseman, number 19, Brendan.
And that'll be Brendan Dunbar. So now Haverford can get a little bit more aggressive and get a little bit more greedy. They lead 2-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. At the plate, Brendan Toohey. Toohey is 0 for 1 as he grounded out in the 3rd. And the pitch on its way. Swung on, grounded over towards Dickinson at second. He'll scoop over to Cochran, and that will retire the side. But 2 runs come in on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. After 3.5, we're halfway through. It's Haverford 2, Malvern Prep 1. You're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship game on the Sports Fan Base Network. We'll head down to the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for Malvern Prep, and for the first time in this game, they're trailing by a score of 2-1. It'll be John Holt, followed by Mikey Gordon and Jaden Smith. Tom Wilms here from Villanova Ballpark in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. They call it Villanova Ballpark at Plymouth. Jack Campbell, for the first time, leading this game. He looks over the glove and fires the first pitch to Holt. Swung on that, is belted into center field, but coming over is Ferris. Has a beat on it. One pitch, and it's one away. And for the first time in this game, leadoff man for Malvern Prep is sent to the bench. So here comes Mikey Gordon.
Right fielder number 35.
Gordon, again the starting pitcher, moved to right field. He's 0 for 1 as he popped up in the infield in the second inning. So a chance to kind of avenge his own pitching line. The first pitch is in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Again, he finishes 3 1/3 innings, no hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, roller towards first, down the line, scooped up by 2. He takes it to the bag himself. And it's 2 away. Great start to the inning here for Campbell. Again, the last 2 innings, he walked the leadoff man.
Center fielder number
But now, again, with the lead, maybe that's settled him down a little bit. So we go to the top of the Malvern Prep order. And here's Jaden Smith. Smith's 2 for 2. Double the right in the first, RBI infield hit in the second. It was a nice diving stop by Cole Donnelly to knock it down, but could not make the throw to the plate in time. So here comes the pitch. That's low for a ball, and it goes to 1-0. Smith, again, very tight to the plate at the closed stance. And the 1-0. Just misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. That's one of those situations where you think it might be a strike simply because he's so close. But, yeah, that did miss. Smith, a .487 hitter, coming in with 1 homer. Now has 22 RBIs. Here's a 2-0. Swung on, popped up. Shallow left, going back. Scanlon coming in. McNeely, who calls off, makes the 2-hand catch. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And after 4, it's Haverford 2, Malvern Prep 1. You're watching the 2022 PAISAA Baseball Championship here on the Sports Fan Base Network. First pitch on its way to Jimmy Davey as he bunts it right back towards the mound. Throwing over to first is in time by O'Shell. 1 pitch and 1 away. Trying to sneak it past him, but again, not quite close enough to the third base line to do it. So again, 1 pitch, 1 away on the 1-3 put out to Davey, who's now 0 for 2. And we go to the bottom of the Haverford order. This is Cole Donnelly. Donnelly is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the third inning. By the way, we do have a defensive change to bring you. We'll do it after this next pitch. First pitch to Donnelly. Swung on, fisted foul out of play. So coming into the game to play right field, Grant Kennedy, he replaces Mikey Gordon. So Gordon started as the pitcher, played 1 inning as the right fielder. Now he is done as here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, fouled straight back. It's 0-2. Again, Kennedy was also the courtesy runner for Ciaris in the second inning. Cole Donnelly, as we mentioned, he's 0 for 1. Charlie O'Shell in his second inning of work. And the pitch on its way. Check swing, foul. That was in on the hands, and that was more of a protection. And it's 0-2. A little bit of, well, I think they're thinking that it hit him. They're going to ask the first base umpire what that was. Again, if it hit him and he did swing, well, again, it's called a strike, but I'm not exactly sure. Again, he certainly did offer at the ball. And now they're going to get all 3 umpires in there to talk this over. This is actually smart from Malvern Prep, simply because they can also get a coach out there to talk to the battery. Well, now the coach is going to come over and he's going to ask what this meeting is about. And he's been told to take a break. Again, unfortunately, couldn't hear if it actually did hit the bat. And I think the home plate umpire, Johnny Gonzalez, kind of pointed to his left hand, thinking that maybe it did hit his hand. But now they're going to get together again. This is going to be a very intriguing call, simply because top of the 5th inning, tight game. It's 2-1 in favor of Haverford. Again, is Donnelly out? Is he going to be awarded a base? Is it just a strike? Inquiring minds want to know. We certainly want to take the time to thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank the folks here at Villanova for the setup. Everyone's been very good to us, again, since we got here earlier today to set up cameras and things like that. And it does look like it's going to just be a foul ball. Now, it's not a baseball game until somebody's mad at the umpire. And this is where you wish you were a fly on the wall or have given the umpire a wireless microphone. But what it does look like is status quo. No balls, 2 strikes to Cole Donnelly, nobody on base, and 1 away. And I got to think that, I think Malvern Prep was thinking, okay, he swung, it hit him, and it should be strike 3. But I think the official ruling was a foul ball. As here comes another 0-2 pitch. Fouled back softly. And we do it again at 0-2. Nobody on base here in the top of the 5th inning. Full wind-up here from O'Shell, the 0-2. Fastball, and that is right down the middle, and he struck him out. Power fastball from O'Shell. That's his first strikeout. And it's 2 away.
Shortstop, number 12.
And Donnelly was absolutely frozen. So 2 outs. And nobody on. We go to the top of the Haverford order. This is Connor Scanlon. Scanlon 0 for 1. O'Shell fires the first pitch. In there for a strike. It's 0-1. Scanlon flew out to right in the first, walked and scored in the fourth. And he scored on a steal of home. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. It's 0-2. And it wasn't a straight steal of home. It was actually a mistimed suicide squeeze, but he still was able to slide underneath the catcher tag. The 0-2 pitch on its way. Breaking ball, misses inside. And O'Shell not happy with the call. That's something you don't see very often, is pitchers being so demonstrative with their disapproval. And again, it looks like Scanlon is very tight to the plate. Actually, his toes are basically outside the batter's box. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and fouled back. But I will say it's a good job by the home plate umpire, Johnny Gonzalez, to seemingly not take it personally. We'll see in some calls later on, maybe. But, some umpires out there, they like to show up the other teams and things like that. As the 1-2 is swung on and missed. And he struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for O'Shell. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. After 4.5, it's Haverford 2, Malvern Prep 1. As you're watching the 2022 PAISAA Baseball Championship game here on the Sports Fan Base Network. We'll head down to the bottom of the fifth inning. Ryan Cochran, Trey Tiffin, Tim Dickinson due up for Malvern Prep. Jack Campbell starts his fifth inning of work. First pitch to Cochran. High and tight, and it hit him. It skimmed him on the shoulder. So Cochran reaches for the second time. So man on at first, nobody out. And again, heading right into the 3-4-5 of the Friar order. And here's Trey Tiffin. Tiffin 0 for 1, struck out looking in the first, walked in the third. And Haverford leading 2-1. As now Campbell back to the stretch. First pitch on its way to Tiffin. High for a ball, goes to 1-0. So there have been 5 offensive innings for the Malvern Prep Friars. We got the leadoff man in 4 out of the 5. But only scored in one of them, an unearned run back in the second. Here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball. Misses inside. I think Tiffin was hoping that would skim his uniform. He turned away from it, but didn't really step back. 2 balls and no strikes. Not a huge lead over at first by Cochran. Being held on by Brendan Toohey. Here comes a 2-0. Fastball off into the bat, foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tiffin, a .429 hitter, 4 homers, 33 RBI. So some pop in that bat after hitting a couple home runs last year. The 2-1. Breaking ball high and inside as he spins out of the way. And it's 3-1. And that one another slip out of the hands of Campbell. Looks like some scrambling in the bullpen for Haverford. Campbell might be hitting his own wall. Runner on at first with nobody out. The 3-1. Swung on. It's a high fly ball to left center field. But Ferris is across, settles underneath, and makes the one-hand catch. It's one away. Yeah, this definitely is a big ballpark, probably bigger than most of the ballparks these teams have played in all year. And the wind was blowing in earlier. Doesn't seem like it's carrying all that much today. So 1 out, 1 on here for Tim Dickinson. So launch angle in this ballpark is probably not going to help you. Dickinson is 0 for 2. The first pitch to him. And that just missed. Maybe a bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Dickinson flew out to right in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Okay, with a runner on at first. Pretty big hole on the right side. Throw over to first, and diving on back is Cochran. Cochran in his senior season over at first base. Lehigh commit. Tim Dickinson, the junior, at the plate. So here comes the 1-0. High and outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Cochran on the year. 4 steals on 4 attempts. One 3-0 against 2-1-2. The 1-0. Swung on, lifted into shallow center field, charging in Ferris. He gets there as it hangs up on him. The throw comes to first. It's not in time. And it's 2 away. Again, Ferris in a good throwing motion. Really charged it well. Didn't have much of a chance to get Cochran, but gave it a try anyway. So 2 outs and a man on at first, and here's Tate Davis. Davis is 1 for 2. Flew out to right in the first, then single to right in the third. Yeah, with his power numbers this year, he certainly seems like someone who could challenge these walls. First pitch to him. Squares the bunt. Pop foul. And it's 0-1. That's certainly a bit of a surprise. .262 hitter. 8 homers, 23 RBI. Cochran lead off of first. Throw to first, and he just falls on back. The long look in here from Campbell, trying to complete his 5th inning. So here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball, misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Campbell, throughout the game, has gotten himself into and out of trouble. Leadoff double in the first, leadoff walks in the second and third, and the leadoff hit by pitch here in the 5th. So here comes the 1-1. Runner at first takes off. The pitch is outside. Throw to second, and it is in time. Did he get the tag down? He did. Great tag by Connor Scanlon as the throw kind of sailed on the second base side, but he reached on back and kept it applied, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. After 5, it's Haverford 2, Malvern Prep 1. You're watching the PAISAA Baseball Championship game here on the Sports Fan Base Network. We move on now to the top of the 6th inning. Missed chances so far for Malvern Prep as they trail 2-1. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up for Haverford as they try to add on to the 2-1 lead. Colby McNeely followed by Mark Quattrani and Ian White. Tom Williams here from Villanova Ballpark here in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. The first pitch on its way to Colby McNeely. Swung on bouncer towards third. That kicks foul. A valiant dive there from Holt. And it's 0-1. Charlie O'Shell in his 3rd inning of work. And sent him down 1-2-3 last inning with a couple of strikeouts. The 0-1 swung on, popped up, back behind home plate, as Ciaras gives it a look. It's 0-2. McNeely is again 0 for 2. Grounded out in the 1st, fouled out in the 4th. And what could have been a really big inning for Haverford in that 4th inning. 3 walks given up. Here's the 0-2. Check swing, pitches low. The appeal denied. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And with O'Shell bringing the heat at about, I'd say, low 90s, you've got to be prepared for that. But once he throws something on the changeup side, body just flies forward. Here's the 1-2. That's bounced foul. Again, 1 ball and 2 strikes as a second baseball came in from the crowd. It was thrown from over our heads in the press box. Another 0-2, rather 1-2. Inside hit him. And McNeely's, he's fine with that. You see him smiling to the dugout, saying, I'll take a base runner any way I can.
The catcher, number 5.
So with the runner on at first, nobody out here in the 6th. Haverford hoping to manufacture another run here, leading 2-1. As here comes Mark Quattrani. He's 0 for 1, flew out to right in the 1st, walked and scored in the 4th. O'Shell from the stretch, the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. And Colby McNeely taking the short lead off of first. And you don't normally think of a number 3 hitter laying one down. So here comes the 0-1. Fastball, just missed outside. Might have been a bit low as well. 1 ball and 1 strike. And we mentioned earlier Charlie O'Shell heading to the ACC, where he'll play for the Virginia Cavaliers. McNeely takes his lead off of first. The 1-1. Check swing. Went too far. And it's 1-2. I think that was over the plate anyway. That had some heat to it. Right now, if you're O'Shell, I think you're seeing some of these hitters, realizing you're overpowering them. You can keep bringing the fastball. Why change it up? The catcher sneaks a bit outside with the low target. The 1-2. Runner at first takes off. Breaking ball is in there for strike 3. Throw on over to second, and he's out. Colby McNeely slipped off the bag. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play, and it's 2 away. Again, it looked like he was there in time, but as he popped up from his slide, again, kind of fell off the bag, and that's a great job by Dickinson to keep the tag on him. So strikeout number 3 for O'Shell. Bases clear, 2 away, and here's Ian White. Ian White is 0 for 1 as he flew out to right in the 1st, walked in the 4th. First pitch to him, and the dirt off the chest of Ciaras, and it's 1-0. So Haverford hoping they didn't just run themselves out of an inning. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses inside, and it goes to 2-0. Here comes the 2-0 from O'Shell. Right down the pipe with a fastball. It's 2-1. And looking outside, you would know that we had ourselves about a 16-minute rain delay. It's been beautiful ever since. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball on the outside corner. It's 2-2. This game with the rain delay, just over a couple hours old. Again, playing in the top of the 6th inning, a 2-1 lead for Haverford. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Outside for a ball, now 3-2. Now the called strike call when it's 2 strikes. We have to wait for Johnny Gonzalez's pace. Now a 3-2 as White tries to send it along to Ferris. It's a good job by White. He stepped in and called timeout right away, just changing up the pace of O'Shell, who hasn't moved. Looking over his glove, he rocks back and fires the payoff pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Long run for Dickinson. Dives, knocks it down, spins, but can't get a throw off. It's an infield hit for Ian White. Second hit of the game for Haverford. And again, now how big is that caught stealing by McNeely?
Center fielder number 1, Will.
So here comes Will Ferris. Ferris is 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the second. And then flew out to center in the 4th. Well, you don't always have to hit it hard. Just hit it where they ain't. That's what Ian White did as he takes the lead off of first. Pitch on its way. And that is a low for a ball. It goes to 1-0. And playing top 6, Haverford leading this one 2-1. So here comes the 1-0. Swung on hog grounder. Diving attempt off the glove of Cochran. Goes into left field for a base hit. So White to second. Ferris on at first as the Fords are trying to put together a 2-out rally with 2 straight infield singles. And Cochran with a full layout, but again, kind of pushed that into the outfield. On that dive, as here comes Jake LaRocca. He's 1 for 2. Struck out swinging in the second. RBI single to center in the 4th. Infield back here from Malvern Prep. Even Ferris isn't being held close. First pitch. Swung on bouncer up the middle. Off the glove of the pitcher. He can't find it. Then scoops, spins, has no play. Bases will now be loaded. As White goes to third, Ferris to second, LaRocca safe at first on the fielding error by O'Shell. As everyone in the infield will get together. I think this is going to be a settle-down session for O'Shell. And 3 balls that were not exactly hit on the screws. But again, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the bases are loaded, and all it'll take is another squibber like that for Toohey to drop it down somewhere to add to the Fords' lead. But that's, as a coach, you got to come out and say, you know what? That's not completely on you. Again, as it does look like it's actually going to be a pinch hitter for Haverford. As Sean Doherty, the junior, he will pinch hit for Toohey. And again, this is a huge spot as the Haverford Fords look to add to the lead. They lead 2-1. Playing in the top of the 6th inning, 2 away, bases are loaded. First pitch to Doherty. It's outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. Doherty, member of the football team at Haverford. O'Shell here with 2 outs. All he needs to do is focus on the hitters. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on hog, grounded to the right side. Diving, knocked down there by Dickinson from his knees. Fires to first in time. A beautiful play by Dickinson that saved at least a run. And that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits 1 error, and 3 left. After 5.5, it stays 2-1 Haverford. You're watching the PAISAA Championship game on the Sports Fan Base Network. We'll head down to the bottom of the 6th inning, and right now Malvern Prep has to find themselves pretty fortunate as they had the base. Actually, Haverford had the bases loaded last inning with 2 away, and the Fords could not convert. It'll be Tage Davis, Ryan Davis, and Matt Ciaras due up. First pitch on its way from Jack Campbell is outside and low, and it's 1-0. This is 5, 6, and 7 in the Friar order. They've only got 6 outs to play with here. As here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on that, is belted into right field, but coming over to make the catch is LaRocca. A liner that almost sailed on him, and it's 1 away. Now, Tage Davis just kind of showed how this game works sometimes. Again, Haverford loaded the bases thanks to 2 infield hits and an error. None of the balls will hit hard. Well, he laced that one. But again, LaRocca made the play. So 1 out, nobody on. Here's Ryan Davis. First pitch from Campbell. Swung on. 1 hopper over towards second. Picked up by Donnelly. Throw to first in time, and just like that, it's 2 away. So that is 4 straight retired. Technically 5 with the caught stealing of Cochran to end the 5th inning. As here comes Matt Ciaras. He's 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the 2nd. Struck out looking in the 3rd. Here comes the pitch from Campbell. As he yanks that outside and low. And it's 1-0. Campbell's given up 3 hits. 1 each in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. This last turn through the lineup, only a hit by pitch is the blemish. Here's the 1-0. That's low for a ball. Goes to 2-0. Last thing Campbell wants to do is lose Ciaras here. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. On the outside corner, first strike. It's 2-1. Again, it's tough, though. Again, this is a ballpark that is not only big, but plays big. So add about 20 feet to each of those markers out there. Here's a 2-1. Swung on and missed. Heavy swing there on that outside pitch. It's 2-2. So right now, you're Campbell. You don't mind him putting into the play because the defense has been pretty good since the 3rd inning. Good step out by Ciaras to slow down the pace, but Campbell, much like O'Shell last inning, ready to go. The 2-2. Breaking ball. That is on the outside corner, and he struck him out. 3rd strikeout by Campbell, and that one retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 7th. It's 2-1 Haverford. You're watching the PAISAA Championship game on the Sports Fan Base Network. We'll head down to the top of the 7th inning. It will be 8, 9, and 1 due up for Haverford as they try to add on to a 2-1 lead. Jimmy Davey, Cole Donnelly, and Connor Scanlon due up against Charlie O'Shell, who last inning bent but did not break, giving up a couple of hits, a hit by pitch, and also guilty of a fielding error. As at one point, the Fords had the bases loaded with 2 away, but again could not add to the lead, thanks to a diving play by Tim Dickinson. First pitch to Jimmy Davey. Squares the bunt, pulls it back. It's high and outside for a ball. And that is not Davey. That looks like it's Michael Dean, who was 2 for 3 with a run scored against Malvern last time out. So here comes the 1-0. On the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. So that squared a bunt by Dean leads me to believe he was just trying to get into the head of O'Shell. Considering he got the call, I'm surprised he didn't do it again. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, pop foul, third base side out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dean. So now it's Dean, Connolly, and Scanlon. Most likely Davey stays in the game and actually gets reinserted at third base. Because no matter how this inning works out for the Fords, they're going to want their best defenders out there. So here comes the 1-2. Inside as he jumps out of the way of that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Malvern Prep, by the way, they'll also have 8, 9, and 1 due up in the 7th. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, it's a high pop-up, shallow right. Kennedy couldn't find it. Now he charges in with the glasses down, makes the catch. And it's 1 away. It's right there was Dickinson with the glasses on top of his hat. But again, Kennedy, when that was off the bat, he flat out had the hands up for like a second and then found it quickly, thankfully. So 1 out, nobody on, and here comes Cole Donnelly at the bottom of the Fords order. Donnelly is 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the 3rd, looking in the 5th. The first pitch to him. Swung on, little looper towards first. That's a fair ball, but it's picked up by Tage Davis. Takes it to the bag himself, and it's 2 away. I think Donnelly's thinking that, no, is that a foul ball? So no, actually, I think it hit off the back of the bag. Either way, it kind of sailed over the bag and landed fair. So we go to the top of the order for Haverford. Here's Connor Scanlon. Two, 3, and 2 for Haverford. 1, 3, and 1 for Malvern Prep. Here's the first pitch to Scanlon. Swung on, fly ball to right field. Grant Kennedy a couple steps over. Settles underneath and makes the catch. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Haverford 2, Malvern Prep 1. You're watching the PAISAA Championship here on the Sports Fanbase Network. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 2-1 Haverford. Malvern Prep will step to the plate with 8, 9, and 1 due up. It'll be John Holt, Grant Kennedy, and Jaden Smith due up. Jack Campbell, his 7th inning of work. First pitch on its way to Holt. Outside and low, and it's 1-0. And Campbell has not allowed a hit since the third. Only one base runner since the third, and it was a hit by pitch that led off the fifth. The 1-0. Outside for a ball, 2-0 to Holt. Holt is 0 for 2. Fouled out to the catcher in the second, flew out to center in the fourth. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. On the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on, lifted towards short, caught with two hands by Scanlon. It's one away. So one out, and re-entering the game is Mikey Gordon.
From Malvern Prep, number 35, Mike Gordon re-enters the game as a pinch hitter.
Gordon 0 for 2. As he popped up in the second, then grounded out in the fourth. The stare in by Campbell. And here comes the first pitch to Gordon. Outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. And Campbell, for just the second, the third time today, has not allowed the leadoff man on, as that's fouled back. It's 1-1. So far, Jack Campbell, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. So here comes the 1-1. Inside, almost hit him. 2 balls and 1 strike, and that's where, somewhere in the back of Gordon's head, thinking, man, I wish that kind of hit me softly so I can get on base. But again, the reaction is a smart one to get out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here to Mikey Gordon. And again, if he can get on heading to the top of the order, Malvern Prep is set up well. 2 balls and 1 strike count to Mike Gordon. Campbell likes the sign, the 2-1. Missed outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Didn't seem like any member of the battery liked that call. Campbell was fairly demonstrative, and Quattrani asked where it missed. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. Hard roller, and that's in the right field for a base hit. So, tying run on base. Winning run comes to the plate in the person of Jaden Smith. 4th hit of the game for Malvern Prep. Again, that's the first time they've picked up a hit since the third. And it also looks like we're going to have a courtesy or pinch runner. So Mikey Gordon comes out, and Tommy Sarzasti will come in.
Pinch runner for Michael Gordon. At bat for the Friars, number 12, center fielder, Jaden Smith.
So the top of the order, Jaden Smith. And now everyone's going to get together and talk it over. Seemingly trying to be prepared for if Sarzasti takes off. And Sarzasti over at first, he's kind of practicing his lead, just trying to get a good foothold on the turf as everyone breaks it up. And playing bottom of the 7th inning. A game that has not featured a ton of offense. But Malvern Prep hoping for just a little bit to come away with at very least 1 run and force extras. Jaden Smith is 2 for 3. First pitch to him. Breaking ball, misses outside. It's 1-0. Smith doubled to right in the first. RBI infield single in the second. Flew out to left in the fourth. The 1-0, way outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Smith, a .500 hitter, 2 homers, 23 RBI, make that 24. The 2-0, high for a ball, 3-0. Action in the bullpen for Haverford as a righty warms. Again, Tommy Zarzasti is on at first, being held on by Brendan Toohey. The 3-0 in there for a strike. And 3-1. Zarzasti on the year, by the way, 2 steals on 2 attempts. I don't think he's going anywhere at this point. Maybe on the 3-1 count, he might test it. The 3-1 going nowhere. Swung on, little blooper to the right side. That'll drop. And barehanded by Donnelly. He has no play. As he's able to get it on over to second for the out. As I thought he was going to first, but again, he went to second and was able to nab Zarzasti. And now Malvern Prep is down to their last out.
Shortstop number 2.
What a play from Donnelly. Again, when he barehanded that, again, my eyes went right to first, but somehow able to throw on over and get it to second. So it's now going to be Smith on at first, 2 away. And here's Ryan Cochran. First pitch to him on the outside corner for a strike. Cochran is 0 for 1, actually 0 for 2. Here comes the 0-1. In there on the inside part of the plate. It's 0-2, and now the Friars are down to their last strike. Cochran reached on an error in the first, flew out to center in the second, and then was hit by a pitch and was caught stealing in the fifth. Runner on at first, Jaden Smith. Campbell sets at the chest. The 0-2. Reaches out and pokes this to the right side. Donnelly scoops, throws the first. In time. Ball game over. Haverford are PAISAA champions. Final totals in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. As the Haverford Fords score 2 in the 4th. And again, they are the 2022 PAISAA champions. What an effort on the hill from Jack Campbell as he goes all 7 innings. Gives up 4 hits, 1 run, it was unearned. Walks 2, strikes out 3. Again, he picks up the complete game victory. Mikey Gordon suffers the loss, going 3 1/3. No hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts.
Congratulations to Haverford School. Congratulations to Malvern Prep.
A great game that was pretty much nail-biting the whole way. Yeah, not a ton of offense. Again, just 7 hits between the two. Both teams cleaned up their defense towards the end of the game. As our final totals will be Haverford with 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. They left 5 on base. Malvern Prep, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error. And they left 7 on base. Game time of 2 hours, 27 minutes, including a 16-minute rain delay. But again, the Haverford Fords, they come away 2-1 winners. And again, are the PAISAA champions. So congratulations to both teams as they will start handing out the hardware. And this will be our chance to say goodbye and let you listen and watch, actually just watch along for the celebration. Again, our final score this afternoon. The Haverford Fords 2, the Malvern Prep Friars 1. Again, congratulations to the 2022 PAISAA champions, the Fords from the Haverford School. For all of us here at Villanova Ballpark in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, this is Tom Wilms saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you real soon.